One more. We're back in the trailer and the time has come to start creating the bed. So today we're going to start the work on the electrical part of the bed. So we've acquired this. This is out of an electric bed. This part obviously raises the mattress at the top, up and down, and same as at the bottom. But the only thing is, we've got a 240 plug and we want to control it from 2 toggle switches and a 12-volt battery. So at the first glance, we've got limit switches, both sides. I think that's a transformer, fuse board, and we've got the motor wires each side, so we'll just be using the motor wires, the 2 limit switches, and all this can go. So we'll make a start now by just soldering the zone lengths of wire on each end. I'm going to take that as a live, or positive and negative. So when I join these wires, I like to try and slot them together like so, and just try and twist them. Just cut some heat shrink to protect them from touching. So we're just going to work on the limit switches now and put us on 2 wires on this. No heat shrink on these. So now I'm just going to focus only on this side. We've got positive and negative to the motor, and just before we strip them, I'm just going to put some heat shrink on. I'm going to be soldering these on, just warm up a bit, and I'll just simply pull off. And I like to use these ones because if you buy the ones with no insulation on, you have to like fold them over, but I find these better to use. So same process on these 2. So now we need to make 2 cables, a positive and a negative, which will come from the battery to supply the power to the motor. So these are slightly bigger cables, the same ones we use to wire the motor up. Same again, 4 terminals on end. We've finished all his wiring now, soldered all the little ends on with the heat shrink, and we're going to be using these 5-pin relays, 2 relays per motor, and simply switched by a little rocker switch. The positive cable, join that to the positive, and then connect these two to the front terminal, which is number 87 on both relays. So that's the power in. The next cable, we'll use the negative. The negative cable joins to the second one in, which is the 87A. So one that. So we've got power going into the relays, and these are the bigger wires because these are what drive the motor or send the power to the motor. So then the next cables, we get the negative and positive from the motor to the back one. Don't matter which way you go around on these, that could be there, that could be there, it doesn't matter. So we've got the 3 cables there, and that's number 30. So now the cables from the limit switch, we're going to use these 2. One goes to that terminal, which is number 85, and these like are the switch lines, I call them. Send that one to the same on that side. Send 2. So the other end of the limit switch now, one limit switch to that side, that'll be that. The next limit switch to that side. We'll send another wire to the centre, and that will join to the positive. Back to the relays now. Want a wire to this side, which is 86. Same on the other one. And these 2 wires will go to the negative. So let's give it a try. So we've got motors retracting that way. If it hits the limit switch, it stops. And going the other way, when it hits the limit switch, it stops. So that works fine. I've made this video because I remember when I would try to fathom out these relays and how to make a motor go forward and reverse using these little rocker switches, it were a bit of a minefield. So I hope in this video I've shown, like, well, I think my simplest way of wiring these relays up to the rocker switch, obviously to do what I need it to do, forward and reverse. And also I've put a wiring diagram picture at the end of the video just to show you sort of in detail how I've done it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll catch you next time.